What up, guys?
Going on, guys? We're back with your MMA recaps and previews for this week. We take you to UFC 256 early prelims. What do you think about the entire card overall?
Well, we know one thing. From the beginning of the night, Chase Hooper stole the show. Everyone is talking about Chase Hooper coming back from second round beatdown, going for the arm lock into the third round. Everybody's talking about this. There was no fight of the night. There was no fight of the year. There was just that one moment where Chase Hooper stole the show.
Man, this guy, this is what we're going to get with these contender series and Dana White looking for a fight and Ultimate Fighter thing. We're getting rid of the Yoel Romero's, even Anderson Silva, uh, Anthony Johnson, and we're replacing them with Chase Napoleon Dynamite Hooper. What are we doing here, man? This guy has no business being in the UFC. No, I'm not impressed with him. He somehow ankle picked the guy, got a little ankle lock. Okay, cool. He was getting his behind kicked for 2.5 rounds. I'm out.
You're a fan deep down, but let's go. We're giving them too many minutes of our time, and it's up. So next,
we move on to Tesha Torres. She looked good. First round stoppage. The ref stopped the fight after the first round. What do you think?
Next,
Gavin Tucker took on Billy Corntilo, two dudes that wanted to give us a hard next on our show, wouldn't give us the interviews. But hey, Gavin Tucker looked great, man.
Gavin Tucker's an animal. I've been a fan of his ever since he fought Sam Cecilia. Guy's a beast. He could be a prospect, top 20 in the featherweight division.
In the words of Daniel Cormier, this young man's got a bright future. Young man at 34. I don't know about young, but anyways, he looks good. 13-1. I think he's on a 3-fight win streak now.
Yeah.
I don't know what we do with him, but his style is just beautiful. It would match up well with the Calvin Kattar. I'm not saying he's on the Calvin Kattar level yet, but stylistically, that's a fun fight. If somehow Calvin Kattar doesn't get by Max Holloway, not mad at that. Not mad at that.
Absolutely. I would like to see him get a couple more wins over some Billy Cortello kind of fighters, but yeah, I'm not mad at it either.
Renato Moicano versus Fiziev, hard next. I mean, do you got anything to say about that?
One performance of the night. That's about it.
Yeah, Fiziev looks good. Let's get him some top guys now. But Cub Swanson, Daniel Pineda. Wow, Cub. Wow.
What a fight, eh? Actually, that was one of the main things that stole the show for me, actually. It was nice to see an old Cub on the win streak come back and just do his damn thing. I'm happy with it.
You were talking mad trash about Cub, man. You were saying, oh, man, he's old. He's not top 15, all this. Look what he just did.
He needed a little fire under his ass. Or what did I say?
Like fire in his ass or some weird questionable thing.
I don't know. Check that out, guys. Marshall's reaction's priceless, but yeah.
Cub, man. I don't know what we do with him next. If he wasn't top 15 before, which is a joke, he's definitely top 15 now. What do you think they go with him?
Josh Emmett.
Josh Emmett's nice. Yeah, not mad. What about Gavin Tucker?
That makes sense. That'd be a good fight.
All right. Move on to the main card. JDS versus Cyril Gane. What are we gonna do with Junior Dos Santos in 2020?
Bellator World Champion.
JDS Bader's a good fight. But anyway, before we get to that, JDS took on Cyril Gane, got knocked out in the first round, like he tends to. Second round.
He always curls up, eh? Like he always goes into the hurdle position.
He got hit with a clean right hand. That was on the button. Then he got hit with the elbow, I believe, when he was covering up on the fence. And it was somewhere on the ear, maybe behind the head. But when you're covering up like that, it's kind of – it's a 50-50. It's partially your own fault. If you're going to turtle away from the opponent, you're going to get hit by the head. It's just part of the game.
Yeah, don't be a bitch. You're a fighter.
What Brady said, don't be a bitch. That being said, I think Junior Dos Santos is done with the UFC. We're cutting dudes who are at world-class level. Like I said, Yoel Romero and Anthony Johnson. I think his days are done. 4 losses, 4 knockouts in a row. Mm-hmm. They're going to move on with it. But Cyril Gane, I wasn't very impressed with him.
I'm not as impressed. He needs to – I want to see him fight like a Rosenstrike, someone who's actually going to hit him and see how he reacts. I would love that fight.
Yeah, that's an interesting fight too. Gane moves better than Rosenstrike, but I don't think he doesn't hit as hard as Rosenstrike. A Volkov would be fun.
Or an Overeem.
I mean, if you hate Cyril Gane's future, you feed him Overeem. There's no way he's beating Alistair Overeem.
Well, anyone could beat Augusta Win could beat Overeem. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I got a questionable chin, but the skill set is unmatched. But anyways, Cyril Gane, good prospect, a lot to work on. I'm not sold on him yet. Let's see what he does. He's 30 years old. That's young in the heavyweight division. A lot of time left.
Absolutely. And after that, what did we get?
Kevin Holland took on Jacare Souza. Wow, crazy.
Besides the Buckley, it might be the best knockout of the year.
It's got to be in the conversation. Like, I've never seen anything like that. He was on his back, threw a right hand, wobbled him off of his back.
It was some Mortal Kombat strikes, like when you want to stick your hand down the throat, just boom, 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 you know?
And leading up, had him deep defense, and Kevin was just feeding them both to the back of his bald head, just swelling the bald head up.
Jacare had no answer for him. I just don't see how he could beat Kevin Holland.
I don't see Kevin Holland's a problem with that division. He had a bad performance against
His interview I watched again this morning, though.
What?
He's just, I want that fight, but you don't want that fight. Like, he talks to himself, man.
Yeah, it's weird. The guy is different. He's got a screw loose, but to fight 5 times in 10 months, you got to have a screw loose.
Oh, for sure. And he wants to fight next week.
But let's just get back to Kevin Holland for a second before we move on. He had a bad performance against Darren Stewart a couple months ago, but he's bounced back with 2 violent finishes. What do we do with him?
That was a little space right there. You kind of looked into my eyes, blanked out for a sec. I don't know. Anyway, I would like to see him fight Marvin Vettori.
That's a great fight. That's the fight to make if they don't do what he did in his post fight. He wants Chimaev next week, UFC PI, for 6 fights inside 10 months. That's got to be a record. 6 fights in 10 months has to be.
Absolutely, it's crazy. He'll do 5 or probably 6 or 7 fights for sure by the year calendar.
I mean, if after this 6, let's hypothetically speaking, let's say he fights Chimaev next week. Let's say he gets the job done, which I believe he would, especially at middleweight. What do you do with a guy on a 6-fight win streak? He's got to be in title conversations. He's got to be.
Yeah, but he needs to get a big win. Like, Jacare was big, but Jacare wasn't the same Jacare, let's be honest.
No, it wasn't.
He needs to beat a top 5 guy. A Whitaker, right. A Jared Cannonier, one of those fringe contenders, Apollo Costa, maybe. That's
interesting. Either way, he will put himself apart from everyone else if he fights again next week. He's already done that with 5 fights this year.
Darren Till.
Yeah. I think I think, or Calvin Gastelum maybe.
Gastelum's fighting Ian Heineck.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of good guys. Middleweight's hot right now. I'm high on Kevin Holland. I was low on him after the Darren Stewart fight. I'm high on him right now.
Absolutely. He has some swag to him for sure.
Okay. Mackenzie Dern taking on Virna Jandiroba.
Say it properly. Mackenzie Dimepiece Dern.
Taking on Virna. You got a name for her too, or what?
Not on his monetization. I can't say it. We'll get bleeped out.
Eyeballs? Virna Eyeballs Jandiroba?
That's as ruthless.
Dude.
No, it's more like 1.
Bro, her eyes scared me, bro. I couldn't look directly into them.
Oh my God, this is brutal. She can't come on the show ever.
But anyway, 2 Brazilian black belts that decided to stand up and throw some hands. Good fight. Really good fight.
Bad strikers, but good fight. It was a brawl.
Yeah, I was not happy seeing Mackenzie get her dime piece face broken up. I wasn't happy with that.
But you had a score for the other girl. I had a score for Mackenzie Dern. It could have went either way, but I definitely edged Dern. Yeah,
it was 29-28 unanimous decision for Dern. I had a 29-28 Jandiroba. It was a close fight. I think it all depends on who scored that first round. It was a close first round. Second round was definitely Jandiroba. Third round was definitely Dern. So it all comes down to the first round.
Absolutely. But then in the co-main event,
El Kukui, Tony Ferguson took on Dobrax Charles Oliveira. You start this one.
People just we both picked Charles Oliveira to win this fight, which is kind of a, we know our shit. But 5-knuckle shuffle there. He just dominated. There was not a moment in that fight where Tony won a minute. Like, he just got absolutely manhandled. He was out-strengthed. He was out-grounded. It kind of showed, too, like, if Khabib ever fought Tony, he probably couldn't do anything off his back with Khabib. Because he couldn't do anything off his back with Charles Oliveira. It took a lot of hype away from it. Some things were just not meant to be. It's sad because I definitely see, like I said, Tony's at the end of his career. I don't see him winning many more fights. I think he's close to retirement. He just took too much damage his last fight, and he's just not the same fighter.
Okay, now, like you said, right off the bat, it was all Charles. I think you hit him out with a right hand in the first minute of the first round. And after that, it set the tone for the fight. It was just win some close stand-up exchanges. Tony had a couple moments the first round, then get him to the ground and just dominate. Almost broke his arm in the first round. If he didn't broke his arm, I'd be surprised. Now, are we going to give Charles Oliveira all of the credit for this fight, or are we going to say this is a beaten, broken, lesser version of Tony Ferguson from the Gaethje fight, who may or may not be aging before our eyes? What are we going to say?
It's definitely not the same fighter, but I'm not taking anything away from Charles Oliveira. Like, that was an unreal performance. I think he's an amazing talent, and I think he beats Khabib.
See, that stylistically, there's no one in the division that gives Khabib problems on paper like Charles does. People for years were saying, Tony's the guy. I never saw it. You can go back and watch our tapes. Every time this conversation came up, I said, Khabib's going to maul him. I don't think it's going to be a close fight. I want to see the fight because that's the fight that got made 5 times. So we should have saw it. That being said, I never thought it was a competitive fight. I would have been rooting for Tony, but I didn't think he was going to win. Charles Oliveira, on the other hand, he's got some weapons in his repertoire that Khabib has never seen before. He's by far a better striker on his feet than Tony is, at least at this stage. And his ground game, I mean, whatever Tony brought to the table on the ground against Khabib, Charles is on a whole different level.
Absolutely. I just don't see Khabib couldn't. I honestly don't see a way Khabib could really win that fight unless, like, I don't know, man. That submission defense would, like, I don't know. It's such an interesting fight, but I definitely edge out Charles Oliveira.
See, like, it's much like the Lomachenko-Teofimo situation for me. I can't sit here and tell you I'm going to pick against Khabib. I've seen the man lose 1 round in his time in the UFC. 1 round. I can't sit here and tell you I'm going to pick against Khabib. But if there's somebody that I want to see Khabib face right now, it's Charles Oliveira.
Stylistically. Amen. Let's finish that.
Okay. Davidson Figueroa taking on Brandon Moreno in what turned out to be one of the best fights of the year.
Yeah, it was unreal. What a war. I don't think it was Joanna versus Weili, but I definitely think it was up there with fight of the year contender.
It's in the conversation. It's definitely going to have to be brought up along those names for this year's fight of the year. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think it's better than Hooker Poirier, just because of the 5th round. The 5th round kind of fizzled out. But other than that, amazing performance on both ends. How did you score the fight?
I had it with the point deduction. I had it 3-2 Moreno.
Okay, so very possible score. I had it first round. I had for Fig. Second round, I had for Fig as well, but that's where the point deduction was, I believe, right? Yeah. So then it becomes an even round. No, sorry. First round I had for Fig. Second round I had even. Third round I had for Fig as well, but he got a point deduction, so that becomes an even round. And then the 4th round I had for Moreno, and the 5th round I had for Fig. So I had 1 point for Fig. It was a weird.
One of the judges gave the 5th round to Moreno, eh?
That's unacceptable.
That's how corrupt judges are.
That's just, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm not mad with a draw. If I was Davidson, I'd be upset because you kicked him in the dick, and that's why you lost the fight.
Absolutely, and we're going to get a rematch because of it.
Right. The point was definitely justly taken, though, because he poked him in the eye earlier in the fight. So I'm not mad at the point deduction.
Absolutely. And it showed a chink in the armor of Figueroa.
For sure. I think he believed too much in his power. He thought he's just going to get all these 125-pounders out of there early, and Moreno's chin is on that El Cucuy level.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just too tough for his own good. He's got that Mexican blood.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I got to say for 256. Let's move on to Thompson Neal. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. We got a crazy card for you, and that's before they even might add Hamzat Chimaev versus Holland. But before, let's just get into the card. We got
Jimmy Flick. We're not going to talk about it because we already did it. But we got Jimmy Flick. Check out that interview from before. He got moved to this card because of Pink Guy. So
Duran Nguyen is taking on Antonio Arroyo. Any interest in that?
No. Next.
Carl Robertson taking on Dolce Lupa.
Be real. Next.
Okay, we're going to move on.
We got to put some stinkers on there. Yeah.
Zajara Eubanks is taking on Pani Kianzad.
Bro.
Khalil Muhammad's taking on Diego Lima. I'm excited for this one.
Khalil should just destroy him.
You know me, I'm Team Lima all day. Khalil should win the fight, but let's go Team Lima.
Yeah, you are a Julia Lima fan, so.
Lima Lay McFarland. There we go.
There you go.
Anthony Pettis taking on Alex Moreno. We had an interview with Moreno, didn't we?
I love Moreno. Super cool guy. It's weird because Pettis is one of my all-time favorites, like top 10 favorite fighters. But after talking with Moreno, the guy's on fire. He looked slick his last fight. Pettis didn't look so well against Cerrone, arguably lost, and lost the two before that. Moreno gets it done, unanimous decision.
I don't know enough about Moreno to make a pick on this one, but I hope Showtime gets it done. It's going to be tough to see Showtime lose 3 straight, to be honest with
you. No, he won his last fight against Cerrone.
Right, yes. So he lost 2 before that, Ferreira and then Nate Diaz. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it'd be tough, but still, man, that's 3 of his last 5. I want to see him get this win.
I don't. I got Moreno.
Gillian Robertson. Go check out Brady's from Fight Island a few weeks ago, taking on Taylor Santos.
That's my girl. That's the dime of dimes.
Make a pick? Are you gonna make a pick? Or are you gonna keep simping?
I'm distracted still thinking about her. I definitely got Gillian by second round of submission and her biggest win to date.
Man, Santos is 16-1. That's a tough ask.
I know.
And Gillian didn't look great in her last fight.
No, but she'll come back with a fire in her ass.
I think Santos is going to beat her, man. Unanimous decision.
We'll see. Second round submission.
Okay, Marcin Tybura taking on Greg Hardy. This is a good fight.
Marcin Tybura is going to destroy him on the ground. Second round submission.
I don't think Tybura is going to take him down. He looked good standing. Tybura fought Blagno last, right?
Yeah.
And he looked good on his feet. Blagno's no joke. I think he's going to stand with Hardy, and I think Hardy's going to outland him. He's going to work that jab, and the right hand's going to land him. I think Hardy's going to get it done.
I don't know. I think there's levels to this game, and Hardy is just, I don't know. We all pray for Hardy to get beat up. Let's be real.
I'm past it, bro. I'm past that point. This 2018, it was like, dude, don't put him on the same card as Rachel Ostovich, but it's over now. It's over with.
Yeah, I just don't like the dude. So I hope he gets smashed.
Okay. Bantamweight belt, Marlon Ryan is taking on Rob Font.
Hold on. He was a shitty football player, and he's a shittier fighter. So, next.
How can you say he's a shitty football player when he made Pro Bowls?
He just didn't. He rode on everyone.
Dude, he made Pro Bowls. You're not a shitty football player. You're like one of the best in the world. So anyways, you can just that's a cringy comment by you, but he's not a great fighter. That's a fact.
I'll get Derek on this. I'll get Derek to call you. His favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys, and he said he was shit too. So we'll get you to call him.
Okay. Marlon Moraes is taking on Rob Font. Tough fight for Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, he needs to come back off a win. I think there's levels to this game, and Marlon still is on a higher level than Rob Font. Rob Font's a little older now. He's 34, I think. He's not the best. I don't think he's even fought for a while. So I think Marlon, with the experience and the more recent activity, he'll be able to edge out a unanimous decision.
I mean, his last fight was December 7th, 2019. He beat Ricky Simons. It's not a bad win.
Yeah, but I think there's levels. It'll be a scrap. Like, I think it'll be 29-28, but it'll be Marlon. First 2 rounds.
I'm going to take unanimous decision for Rob Font, man. I just think Moraes, he's mentally weak. We saw that in the Cejudo fight. He broke after the first round, and he hasn't been the same since that Cejudo fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to the main card here. Sorry. Michelle Pereira taking on Chaos Williams. That's a crazy fight.
Yeah, Chaos Williams is a beast. I don't know, man. I got Pereira by second round knockout. I just think we're gonna get some flashy come around knockout, but either one could get knocked out in this fight.
I think Chaos Williams is on back-to-back first-round knockouts. I think both within the first minute too. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I'm going to take Chaos Williams first-round knockout.
I just want to see Pereira. He's entertaining.
Crossroads fight if I ever see one right here. Jose Aldo taking on Marlon Cheeto Vera.
Yeah, one guy's coming up. He just beat Sean O'Malley, has a little bit of hype, got like a couple extra Instagram followers on his account. In that shine, but he's going to face a 3-fight losing streak animal who has some burn under his ass to come and kick some ass, and we're gonna get some old school Jose Aldo out there, and he's gonna leg the shit out of him. He's gonna beat him. He's gonna eat him like a Chinese buffet and get her done.
Are we gonna pretend though, like Sean O'Malley's world class? Are we really gonna pretend like that?
No, his hair is, but that's about it.
Like, yeah, Marlon Vera had a big win against O'Malley. O'Malley was riding the hype train coming into it, a lot like Edmund Shabazian, a lot of these guys. But it's a good
biscuits.
It's a good win for Marlon, but let's not forget who he beat. Like, it's not like he beat Peter Yan, Aldo, one of the Cody Garbrandt. It's not like he beat one of those guys.
Yeah, he didn't even a Rafael Assunção. Like, he didn't beat a named fighter who paved their way. Like, O'Malley hasn't even beat anyone.
So, I think Jose's performances as of recently, he hasn't won, but I thought he beat Marlon. And his performance against Peter Yan, even though he lost up until that round, we got stopped. It was a back and forth fight. Great fight.
It's competitive, absolutely.
I think
Jose should pick him apart for unanimous.
Yes, I think his body work and hopefully he brings some leg kicks to the dance. Unanimous decision as well. I got that. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Joff. I'm still a waiter at a steak shop. Neal.
I was talking to you about this earlier, and I just feel like Thompson isn't overrated. He's overrated to me. Yeah, he is overrated. He has some really good wins, but he just, to me, he's kind of chinny too. Ever since that Pettis fight, you kind of notice that. He doesn't like to get hit. That's why. But he has a weird style, but he is very overrated to me. I do think like he's going to get destroyed. I mean, he's going to win the first couple rounds, and you're going to see a later stoppage by Jeff Neal. Stephen Thompson isn't much of a finisher anymore, and I don't think he can hurt Jeff Neal. I think Jeff Neal is going to come out swinging and go for the kill, and when he knows he's down on points, and he's going to say screw it.
So Stephen Thompson's coming off a good win against Vicente Luque, and Luque is a very but it's a very similar style to Jeff Neal. I don't think he's as explosive or as powerful as Neal, but he's very technically sound and a really good striker like Jeff Neal. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So that's going to give him some confidence coming into this. But Jeff Neal has just been murking dudes. What he did to Nico Price and Mike Perry is just rude. I think, again, this is a crossroads fight. I think Jeff Neal wins this and really cements himself as a maybe a top 5 welterweight.
Yeah, I think this is a coming out party for Jeff Neal. It's going to be the Neal show. It's and knockout, 4th round.
Early on, it's going to be all Stephen Thompson because he's long, he's rangy, he fights at range. But Neal's going to quickly find out that he's quicker than Thompson, and he's going to have to close that distance. And he's going to also find out that he's not going to be able to get hurt. Like Thompson's not going to be able to hurt him. I don't think.
I don't think so either. I think Thompson it's going to be that he's getting old, and this is just his time's up.
So look for Jeff Neal to stop. Let's say 3rd round knockout.
I got 4th round.
But I'm excited. Honestly, top to bottom, this card is comparable to UFC 256. This is great.
Absolutely. It's both a great card. Absolutely. Is there anything you want to throw in this week?
Please, Tom Holland, and get this Kazmat Chimaev fight. I really want to see that. I think that would cement Holland as fighter of the year. I think Davidson Figueiredo dropped himself off with a draw. And especially when you consider that his first fight with Benavidez didn't make weight. I don't think Figueiredo is in the conversation anymore.
No, absolutely. Not at all.
So let's go. Let's see what happens with that.
All right, we're out.